Welcome back, Food FAQers. This is Mariella,
And Eric.
and we're so excited about this. We were just talking about how we're going to make this into a series because we are really into this homemade business because of the stuff we've discussed before.
Yeah.
So we're going to make condiments, bitches.
Yeah. And they're really easy. They taste delicious. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Mariella. For
Mm.
one minute, I'm gonna be honest with you. Lately, the past couple months, something has bothered me
Mm.
about food. And what has bothered me is that some things are really, really long-term shelf stable when I don't feel they should be.
Agreed.
Now, I know there's canning methods and there's jarring methods and things like that, and I do understand that. But when you open those cans and jars, you still should not have like 2.5 fucking months to still be able to use this item. Okay, so when you can it and jar it, that's when you get the longevity of it. And that I understand. I understand the science behind that. But after you open it,
It should die relatively soon after.
it should. And so I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day, or I was actually thinking about that too when we were making these, like because these are not going to have very long fridge life, but it tastes a lot better. So let's get started with this bullshit because this is good.
All right. So we're going to start with our good old American friend ketchup,
Yes.
which is super easy to make. And I would bet that you have everything you need at home right now to make it.
If you follow Food FAQ, you definitely will.
Right? I think, yeah, okay. So what do we need, Keter?
All right, and just let everybody know, Mariella was not too kind on this recipe I found for this.
Well, I just wasn't sure because of the
I wasn't
tomato,
sure. She was not too kind on this. Okay,
but I
this is
did make it and it was really good.
yeah, you're welcome. All
Such
right.
a bitch.
So this is what I did. You take one 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes,
Or petite diced. That's what I used.
diced.
Hmm.
Put it in your saucepan, and you were then going to take. I took a tablespoon of tomato paste, put it in the saucepan also. 1/4 cup water, 1/3 cup vinegar, 3/4 cup brown sugar, and then here come the spices. So of course I did a little bit of sea salt, I did black pepper, I did powdered onion, I did powdered garlic, I did do some celery salt, I did cayenne pepper, and oh, and I did like 2 little cloves. All right. So I let it get boiling. So here's the deal. It does take about an hour to get this done because we're reducing it. So you do have to stir it. Now, you're gonna taste it, and it's not gonna taste incredibly flavorful. It's gonna taste a lot like vinegar and tomatoes, but like don't flavor it because all this shit is about to concentrate together. Okay.
Right.
So you get everything in there, you put the seasonings in there, but if it doesn't taste seasoned enough, just leave it be. You can always season it later. All right. So I let it go for about 45 minutes. And then what I did is I took this mixture, I did pour it into my blender. I guess you should let it cool. I did not. It's tempered glass, so I did not. Throw in the blender, turned on the blender, let it whip around for a bit, and it became very creamy and very smooth, very ketchup.
Very demure, very mindful.
No, don't go there.
I love her.
I know. We can get into later how the American government can shut down TikTok but can't give people like fucking health care
Or make sure kids don't get killed at school. That's not
yeah, or
important.
the ability to go to college or buy a home. But that's okay. We can fucking shut down TikTok anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Morons.
Fuck
So
faces.
here's the deal. I put it back in the saucepan. So now I have the smooth, creamy ketchup, and we let it going now for about another 20 minutes. At this point, though, I am stirring it a little bit more consistently because I don't want it to burn or stick to the bottom of the pan. And that's it. And then I let it cool, put it into a beautiful little glass jar that used to hold marmalade in it.
I
And
love
Marilyn,
keeping jars.
I am at that age now where I keep jars.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, they're so useful.
I will never, ever make fun of my immigrant grandparents, God rest their souls, ever again for keeping jars
A good
because
jar.
you paid for it.
Yeah, and it gets you out of a
What's
pickle.
gonna throw a glass jar out?
I agree. Especially a pretty one like the Bon Mama.
Right. You paid for that shit. It could be fucking Smuckers. I don't give a shit. Keep that glass jar.
Fucking Smuckers. They should change their name.
that dirty ass sugar filled, but American. Anyways,
Oh.
so
All right,
that's
well,
it.
listen. I made this too, but I didn't make it as like spiced as you did because I wanted to kind of make like a true ketchup.
That
Not,
is a true ketchup, Mariela. There's spices in a true ketchup.
I want to say that I wanted to make a, what is the word I'm looking for? Not true, but like just a simple ketchup, right? So I took my can of the petite diced tomatoes, and instead of waiting until it was hot and it was going to be harder for me to blend it, I blended it right out of the can in my bullet. And I whizzed it in there so it could be nice and smooth. And then I added a quarter cup of water. I added a half a cup of sugar and maybe like 2 tablespoons of brown sugar altogether. All of it is brown sugar, by the way. So half a cup and plus 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. A third of a cup of you know what, Eric? My vinegar of choice is always apple cider. I can't tell you
Yep.
why, because I don't know. I just kind of enjoy it, and I think it's like healthier because it has like the mother in it, and it's good for your gut. So that's why I always buy it. And you know where it's really cheap at Trader Joe's, and it's the good vinegar, the kind with the mother in it.
Hmm.
Then I put in a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder and about a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. I mixed it all together in my pan and I just kind of like waited for it to boil while it was on medium and then I covered it. And then every 10 minutes, I would go ahead and stir it. And then when it started getting thick, I uncovered it and just like you did, I stayed there and I stirred it. And then when I started noticing when I would put my spatula down the center of the what is that shit called? The vessel I was the pan. No, I couldn't remember the word pan. Can you imagine?
Man, where are you from?
Holy shit. Okay, so when I noticed that when I would scrape my spatula down the center of the pan, touching the bottom of it, it would kind of form a line. I knew it was ready. So I took it out, I put it in a glass bowl, and I covered it with a tea towel, and I let it get to room temperature. And that was it. And this should last about 3 weeks in the refrigerator, which is a pretty good amount of time.
It will last 3 weeks, you think?
Yeah, I Googled it. That's what Google says, you guys. I mean, again, what can I tell you? We're here trying new things out. But I feel like if you're going to make this ketchup, have plans for it,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you know? Have burger nights, have French fries, like where you can mix it with like mayo and make your own little mayo chup or whatever people call it, the pink sauce, all that jazz. Like have plans for your ketchup. This ketchup, I feel like it's a little bit on the sweet side, but I kind of like that. And it's also thick, which I love. I like a nice thick ketchup.
You like a nice thick other things. You know what?
That is true.
Mariella,
What?
show. I don't know where you got this. So I put cayenne in mine. So it wasn't
Sweet.
too sweet. Right. And I think the little bit of cloves I put in there too, and I also blended it with the clove in there also. So
Damn.
kind of add a little bit of depthness to it. So
I agree.
I actually would have added a little bit more clove next time, but this was really good. And what I like about it is that 128-ounce can. It gives enough, at least for me, because I'm not a big ketchup person. I don't use ketchup on everything.
Me neither.
Like I'm very basic when it comes to like French fries. You know what I'm saying? Like on a burger, and I don't eat burgers often.
I make
So
burgers at least twice a month.
so there you go. That's like it makes like and you have the whole family, so it makes enough for like that for like French fries, tater tots, like something you're gonna make. It'll probably for you. It'll definitely probably last. Well, Ryan throws ketchup on fucking everything, so maybe.
It made about a cup and a quarter at the end of it, I want to say,
Yeah, I would say yeah.
because I had another little jar I kept from my Hamarina cherries that I bought.
I like, by the way, how you fucking rolled your eyes at me when
Why?
I'm going through the explanation of like how long it would last, and you're like, fucking moron. It's like a cup and a quarter. Okay. Like, and if nobody realized, Mariela is really precise in measurements. I'm like, I don't know. I threw like a knuckle full of garlic powder and like a desk full of onions, and
I
like that
know.
measurement to my life.
Thank God for me, because what would they do? They would be like, I
No
don't
one
know.
would have a recipe. I would not even have a recipe. So
A handful for Eric, by the way, would be like 3 handfuls for me. So you can't even like, he's a giant human
no,
being.
yeah, she's not wrong.
Yes. So yeah, we have to be precise with our people. If we're not gonna write these motherfucking recipes down, we should at least tell them, right?
Absolutely. No, that's true. I mean, like my hand, by the way, is a normal size hand.
It is
Okay.
not.
Okay, you know what? You're like the president of like the Lollipop Guild. Okay. So
You're right.
that's why yours are smaller. What a petite woman. So
My
that's
daughter
why
is only an inch shorter than me now. So yeah, I'm gonna be front of the picture forever.
really that is not a difficult accomplishment. Okay. Like there's a lot of children that are taller than you.
I know, but she's like a quarter of my age, so
Well, yeah. I mean,
I stopped
again,
growing.
children are no, no, she's beautiful. Let her keep growing.
So anyway,
Anyway,
this is ketchup, and I bet you $10. Oh, and if you don't have brown sugar, use white sugar. It's
you use
okay.
white sugar. Yeah. So like when I was researching, there was recipes that were white sugar and brown sugar. I chose brown sugar just because I like it
We like
better.
brown sugar around here.
Right. I'm a big brown sugar. Like if you're gonna have me choose a sugar, it's gonna be brown sugar
Me
any
too.
day over white sugar. So I thought it would get more depth of flavor, and I think it did. So
Oh, and let's say you have a can of whole tomatoes. Okay, just put them in your blender.
put in the blend, just blend it up.
Say you don't
Or you
have
can just use a can of tomato sauce, or you can use,
exactly. Like this is a very flexible recipe that you can
it
use
is.
however you like. And if you have champagne vinegar in your any vinegar, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like I have white wine vinegar and I had white vinegar. I use the white vinegar just because
It's cheaper.
right, I just wanted to use it. So because there's
Yeah.
it's a lot of it. So I mean like I
Yeah,
need
that's true too. It always comes in big quantities. So yeah, like I bet you $10 you can make ketchup. And if you're gonna have people over, how cute.
and I'm gonna say like I'm not just saying because we made it, but there is a big taste difference
Oh yeah. Like
when
it
you make
just tastes
it.
pure.
It tastes like you taste tomato, which is
Right.
like, important. Ryan had made a comment. It was a funny comment. And he goes, well, it doesn't look like ketchup. I'm like, what do you mean? It has the exact consistency of ketchup. It's a little bit thicker because I like mine thicker. So I
Me
agree. It's a
too.
little bit thicker. And he goes, well, it's not shiny. I'm like, right. It's not supposed to be fucking shiny.
'Cause it doesn't have
Like,
shellac in it, baby.
right. It's supposed to be shiny. So,
Yeah, it's
this is
funny,
fun.
right?
Yeah, seriously.
We're so used to seeing food a certain way, and honestly, that's not the way it really is. Which is really a metaphor for all the things we're experiencing as Americans right now. We're so used to seeing things a certain way, but really, honestly, it's all a fucking lie.
Exactly.
This is a very political food show, I believe. We're really morphing into that.
Someone has to, Marty. Someone has to.
You can always rely on us to bring you some cool recipes, and we'll figure you out.
Yeah, we got this.
So I guess we're gonna make a series with condiments because
I love condiments.
like we've talked to you in the past, the food supply is getting weird as fuck. All the birds are getting the flu. Everybody has a cold.
Yeah.
Or everything's $10,000. So make your own shit at your house. It's
Or
gonna
it's gonna
cost
be,
you less
or it's
fucking
gonna be,
money. What'd you say?
or it's gonna be really expensive.
Yeah, like
Yeah, more
like
expensive.
yay.
I'm just gonna put out there simple fucking math, y'all. Tariffs mean you're gonna pay for it. Keep going.
No, aren't the other people gonna pay for it? Isn't
Oh
that
my
how
God,
it
yeah, the
works?
companies are gonna put their money towards it to
They're so
make it.
kind,
Fucking idiots.
you know? Because the corporations only have our best interests at heart.
Only, and they're gonna pay for it, Marty, or
Yeah.
the other countries are gonna pay for it for us. So
Because we're so privileged. Anyway, off our soapbox, we love you guys. We'll be back with another condiment next week, and we love you.
condiments.
Condiments.